Aya here. I'm watching Live for Love TV. Live for Love TV, very educative program. Please subscribe, like and share. Bless up, Aya.
Welcome back to Live for Love TV. Today's the 29th day of the 9th month of the 24th year inside the 21st century. Hope everyone's doing extremely well out there. Now I just come from a quick little workout, so I'm very tired. That means my thinking is completely kaput, so I have to speak off the cuff, straight from the heart. So one thing we all human beings have in common, whether we realize it or not, is our story. We all have that thing called a story. In fact, human beings can't really operate without a story. From the time of immemorial, as they say, around a campfire, we told one another stories. Sometimes they were true stories, sometimes they were fables, sometimes they were, I don't know, proverbs, but there were always some sort of story. The planet we live on currently has its own story. The universe in which we're in, the galaxy we're in, also has its story. Everything has its story. You have your story, and surely I have my story. And since you can tell me about your story, and sometimes when you try to explain to people it's time to do this and do that in their life, they sort of say, well, you don't know my story. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know my story. And that's a very true saying. But most of the time, nobody that you're talking to even cares about your story. In fact, what I'm coming to say this current day is there is only one story that's important. And especially when you're dealing with Live for Love TV, I've been banging on about this from the day I started this channel to now. There is only one story that's important. And it's not your story. And it's not my story. And it's not his or her story. It's a story that you're going to write from here going forward. That's the only story that's important. All the stories that you've had before, they're gone. Those stories are unimportant. If you hold on to them and hold too much power over those stories, you're never going to have anything great in this life. You're never going to be able to enjoy yourself, and you're never going to be able to put on that genuine smile that comes from deep down within. You have to be writing your own story. That's the only story you should be interested in today. That's all Live for Love TV has been trying to say from its inception. Write your own story. Don't be part of somebody else's story. Now, this is difficult for most people because they've always been part of somebody else's story. Because they're always thinking about the past and what their ancestors went through and what their father went through, their grandfather went through and whatsoever. And sometimes your parents tell you their story and as if you must hold on to it for dear life. It's good to know. It's always good to look back and see where you've come from. But the story that you write is the one that's going forward from here on in. The Dalai Lama said something many years ago that I thought was very interesting. He said, if you want to know what a man was doing yesterday, take a look at the state of his body today. And if you want to know what a man will be doing tomorrow, take a look at the state of his mind today. He's still in the now. He's talking about today, today, today. But it's something in that tells you that if you look at the state of a person's mind today, you'll know where they'll be tomorrow, should they be alive. You'll know exactly how their life is going to go. That's very simple. And that's what I'm trying to say. Change your mind, write your story, and within whatever time it is from here going forward, you're going to be in that position of where that story you wrote, because you wrote it. And once you write it, it has to come to pass. It's as simple as that. It has to come to pass. And if you've had any stories behind you that have not been good, and you wonder, well, you may say, well, I didn't write them. Yes, you did. You just don't realize you wrote them. We can write them consciously or subconsciously, but we always write our story. But write a conscious story that you want to happen, not one that you don't want to happen. Write the story you want to see manifest and come into your existence. Anyway, take care. See you soon. Live for Love TV.
Like, share, subscribe to Live for Love TV.